if you wanted to do this, but I've got my actual camera in the car.
Hey, Merrick.
For the...
This is Daniel.
Hi, nice
Figured
to
I'd try and show you a couple of quick things with this based on what I saw in your videos. So one of the things that I noticed, you did start initially in the up position. I prefer the sword across position. It does block all of that downward stuff to there. By crossing, it gives more defense that way. The one thing that I would caution you with, though, when you get into this stance, remember to keep your elbow back, because your arm is wide open if you do that. So elbow always behind basket. I do a couple quick little things in that defensive position. You can watch me getting attacked. You should feel pretty much invulnerable in that defensive stance if you're not even throwing shots. There really isn't anything that could really get to you. Throw some stabs at me. Even against stabs, you preemptively push block across, move your body, and push across against the stab. You always want to try to keep this out in front of you. One of the things that I noticed in your videos was when you were chambering for the top spike, you violate the keep it in front of you rule by doing this. Pulling it back to here to chamber for the top spike, it can get you hit, and it actually did in your second bout. You don't need to chamber all the way back here. It pulls all of your defense, everything away from the front of you. Not as good. The top spike should be used at even closer distance than this. I know that you were throwing and lunging out with it. I would wait until you got a little closer. It should be thrown in here. A lot of guys like to rush. You throw that. That should be enough of a run up. It's only maybe 1.5 feet. That should be plenty of run up from here into the stab. You should throw it closer, and when you chamber for that, this doesn't open you up like this does. So it's just a little short drop down to here, and then in. Stick. So in your first set of bouts, you fought a guy with an inverted greatsword. You did take the proper stance against this style. This is appropriate. That was correct. I would have gone a little lower on yours to be able to, his greatsword was a little longer than this, but part of it is you're boxing out his lower point. That tends to frustrate a lot of people, but from this position, spear mostly defensive, you still have lots of defense, but your main offense is both your point, if he's not going to block you, you still have your bottom point, and you have your sword point. So from this position, boxing him out lends to a sword stab. So from here, with his sword being up, because he didn't do the same tactic you did, you do the tap and in. You just got to get to that inside line. You'll stab a lot of guys in the belly from here. Notice when you're doing that, defense still in front of you, so that you can counter and come in. That works really well against guys with the stick. Yeah, I think that was pretty much covered a bunch of stuff.